All right, let's do it. So my name is Dimitris Andreadis. I'm engineering director at Red Hat. Um, I've been working on open source for the last 20 years. And I've spent roughly 15 years of my life around the JBoss application project, which was later called WildFly. Do you know this project? Yeah, some, yeah. And the last 5 years, I'm focusing mostly on Quarkus. In case you know this project, it's a very cool one. Um, and today, I'd like to tell you what I've learned throughout all this time working very closely with very capable developers, and give you some strategies that might be useful to enhance your career or achieve your goals. I'm very happy to be here. I'm also very happy that Olympiacos won yesterday. Fiorentina, sorry. Yeah. So this story started for me like the open source part, because before I was working in the telecoms about 20 years ago. I've put it on my blog if you're interested. But the way things worked then was I was like a developer working in some project, and I was using some open source. And through this usage of open source, I get to appreciate the project, the people behind the project, and I made it like a small side thing. So I use it for work. Then I started contributing small bits here and there, bigger bits, and slowly, it became my passion. And at some point, this guy Mark Fleury, the founder of JBoss, had funding for the project, and he could hire the best people. So he said, "Yeah, Dimitris, you wanna work for us?" And I said, "Sure." We used to use a metaphors from the Matrix movie. You take the red pill, and your life gets transformed. And in a way, it did. That was summer of like 2004, and in Athens we had Olympic Games, had to won the Euro Cup, so it was completely crazy. And those people had like a nice surprise for me. I was a core by expert in my company, and they didn't quite tell me what they want me to work on. So I went to this project. We were doing certification for J2EE, if any of you remembers, and a whole subsystem was missing. So I had to implement this big thing. So no holidays that summer. But after this initial shock of working together with some like really brilliant people, so I was used to my company. Okay, we had a team of maybe 20 people, like 2 or 3 of them were really good. But then I went to this environment, and suddenly everyone was good. Not just good, they were brilliant. They were the type of people that would write the books about the technology. They would come up with new ideas. Their code was poetry. So this immediately struck me, like how you can have such a high concentration of people in one environment. What's special with them? How they do it. And I started studying behaviors, talking to them over beer, or and came up with what I called like there's 7 secrets of their success, which I think they're widely applicable, and maybe they can inspire you to learn from it. So let's go with it. The first is passion. It's really liking what you do, and liking what you do is important, because quite often we're not doing our passion. We work on something else, which is okay, pays the bills, but we want to do something different. And the question becomes how I get from here to there. And usually there's pain involved, there's effort. And if you don't really like the stuff you want to do, then you likely quit. So passion is important, and it's also a great contributor to your happiness. I have this uncle of mine in some remote village in Greece, and the guy somehow is really happy. I was so curious, so at some point I've asked him, why you're so happy? And he told me, oh, it's simple. You need to do what you want. That's it. You know, that's the secret to happiness, which means that you know what you want and then you go do it, right? So it's not always that easy. And this brings me to my next point, which is focus. So somehow you're passionate or you try to find your passion and then you have to laser focus on your passion. And the best, let's say, developers I've seen are those that are able to a bit, place bets on technology, on trends, to somehow be there before most others. So the experts that will come to you and talk to you about whatever subject, how they know it, it's like it's a new thing. It seems to you a new thing, and now they're already there. There are ways to do this. So, for example, I don't know if you like Java. Java has a roadmap. Java 22, 23, 24. We know what's coming, and there are those JEPs around it, like Project Panama or Project Layton. Just go and check. What's coming down the road. Maybe you find something interesting, and you can actually get involved. Those are open efforts. Or the other way is be an early adopter. So things have gone crazy now with AI. Obviously, everybody talks about AI. So you may just as well try something yourself and try to ride the wave while it's early. So that's the focus. You need to find your target and laser focus onto it. Which brings me to my next point, which is persistence. Assuming you know what you want, you need to spend the effort. You need to put the hours. There's no magic here. You might see some people, be really confident, and it might look effortless for them to come and talk to you about whatever, but they actually put effort behind it. The more effortless it seems, the more hours they put. And if you ask any of them, they will say, yeah, okay, might be, you might need a bit of talent, but I worked my ass off to make this happen. It's like, waking up one day and thinking, I'm going to run a marathon. Unless you are Forrest Gump, you're probably not capable to run a marathon. You have to do it in stages. So you have to start slowly, do 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon. Maybe you need to train twice a week or 3 times a week. You need to try different things. You need to build your strength. So it takes effort. But how I'm supposed to, do this while I'm working on my normal job? Well, you need to find tricks. So let's say you're a student. Find a project that interests you and make it your thesis, like your master thesis, or I don't know what, make a project to give you a good excuse to do your passion as much as you can. If you work for a company, persuade your boss that this technology is a must. We really have to do this, and I'm going to lead this initiative to try X, Y, Z. There are ways. So do more of it, and you have to do more of it to become a master. Right? You need to become an expert in your passion, and mastery takes time. There's various studies like 10,000 hours to spend on anything to really be really good at it. Again, no magic. You have to put the work. But in our domain, things are not that hard because the information is there. When I started, the code was closed. You had no chance. You wanted to figure out how to write a Unix daemon. There was no book. The first book came out in the late 90s. You have to go and find the code, and without the code, you're out of luck. You wanted to do something really interesting. I don't know, like work on a really advanced project. You have to emigrate, go to the States, or there's no need anymore. Right? You can find great remote jobs here, work in great companies, state-of-the-art things. And the code is there for you. Now we have the opposite problem. We have too much information. So you have to figure out, what's the useful part of that information. And remoteness gives opportunities, but also presents new challenges because now you compete against the world, essentially. But the truth is that our generation has the best opportunities than any previous one, and there's no excuses. Okay. Another characteristic of the more successful developers I've seen is this, motivation, this doer attitude. I've seen colleagues, you throw them in a project they know nothing about. They go in their cave, they look at it, and suddenly they come back and say, oh, I know what to do. So you need to learn to orient yourselves in environments that you're not familiar with and figure out where you can add value. Judging your position in the environment is always important. You always need to think, where I'm adding value, what can I change, what I can create, and this doer attitude is very characteristic of successful developers. It also has another advantage in that the best thing in life are the things that nobody told you have to do. So you figure it out yourself, and then you're vested, and then you like it, and then the reward is even higher if you make it. Or not, doesn't matter, but it was your idea. So, just go and do it, try a new language, a new framework, make a prototype, experiment, innovate. My sixth point, then those slides are quite old, to be honest, but if I were to make them again, I will put that higher up in the priority list. Because people are super important. As a kid, when I started with computers, I was fascinated. I was an introvert, very much. So it looked very interesting to me. Oh, it's me and the computer, I'll do great things. And then soon you realize there's so much you can do alone, not so much actually. The best things are done by great teams. So it's important to find the right environment, the right teams, the right people, bosses, teachers, even partners that will challenge you to grow. This might not be the easiest thing, and the people that can help you grow might not be the easiest ones. But if you want to play chess, well, you don't play with your little brother, right? You play with someone that's better than you, and you might get your ass kicked, but that's how you learn. Another thing is in those online communities, it's easy to get misunderstandings. There's a heated discussion on a GitHub issue or a forum, and then you feel offended, because somebody said, oh, that's a stupid idea. But you have to realize that, they're attacking an argument, not yourself. It's not personal. In most cases, it's not personal, and most people, when you actually get to meet them in person, they're much nicer than their online persona. So, need to develop a bit of a thick skin and, just push through it and make it. And finally, my last item, which is, Mario liked it very much when he saw that in my slides. You need luck. I mean, it's the unpredictable nature of life. I could go out and, I could get hidden by a bus, like when I leave this room. And it's true, you might be trying again and again, and things don't work. You did everything correctly. Timing was bad, I don't know. But luck, I'll use this, Latin philosopher quote from Seneca. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. You heard it before from Alessandra. She went to a conference, she met, Mario, and then some future employer or whatever. The fact that you're here is a great step to challenge your luck and meet new people, maybe your future boss or, I don't know, your partner. You need to trigger your luck. I'll give you this very real example. Like in October, I was in Vert.x, Belgium, and in my team, we've been looking into AI for a year. We just couldn't figure out, how to integrate properly. And then I went to this talk by this lady, Liz Rice. She presented a new project called LangChain for J, if you heard. And I happened to be there, and I saw the talk, and I was blown away. Immediately clicked. It was the missing piece of the puzzle for our project. So of course, to talk to Liz, was super excited by this, and we need to make it, work together. Liz pointed me to Dimitro. Dimitro was the author of the framework. I found Dimitro, we talked for an hour, like nonstop. Then Go Chess, another colleague of mine who was there in the conference, Georgios, brilliant developer, and said, George, drop everything you do and start writing an extension. I want to demo it to the LangChain guys. He wrote an extension in 3 hours. Next day we had the meeting. We showed the staff. They were impressed how nicely it might integrate. And we went back, and in 6 weeks we had like a beta version of Quarkus LangChain, integration. And now we have an AI story, and we're really happy about it. You can try it out. Maybe if you go to one of the talks later, maybe you talk a bit about this, Mario. Yes, great. So yeah, challenge your luck, and good things will come. So that's the story. That's the secret, which is not so much of a secret, but it's a good recipe, and I've seen it applied consistently by successful people, and help with their careers. So when I finish my little, let's experiment, and this is the money slide. If you want to take a picture, take a picture of this one. I realized that, wait, this has nothing to do with software development, right? Those are generic principles of successful professional, which is what they're able to, take a step back, literally, from the daily grind, figure out what they want, what they love, like the environment themselves, and make a plan and stick to it persistently. Again, go persistently over and over again. Maybe make small adjustments on the way, but that's the story. And eventually, sometime, the luck comes, hits at your door. The powers of the universe conspire and help you fulfill that dream, and that's it. And if you have, may have doubts, say, maybe this is not for me. I'm not good enough. But have a little faith in yourself, because you are special. Everyone's special here, and you just have to find your path. That's it. Thank you very much.